I'm Jeffrey Warren, Innovator in Residence at the Library of Congress, and I'm going to show you how to use sound in your relational reconstruction model.
Part 4, Sound. For this part of the guide, I worked with artist and friend Ann Chen. So far, we focused on gathering, editing, and reconstructing these spaces using visual imagery from archives, personal sources, or the internet.
Adding sound to your reconstruction can be a powerful method to augment a visitor's experience of your space and also reconnect with memories and histories.
At a basic level, the ambient sounds of a neighborhood help to create a sense of being there, from the noise of traffic, to the blowing of the wind, to the sounds of people talking, doing things, and spending time together.
Searching for high-quality sound recordings from our past can often be more difficult than searching for historic images or films. Introducing sounds into your environment and composing a soundscape can be challenging when so little material exists.
A solution we've come up with is to take a speculative approach to sound design. When the audio recordings you need do not exist, how do we rely on other sources, memory, texts, descriptions, visuals, oral histories, to recreate the soundscape of a place in the past? In this section, we will introduce some exercises, suggestions, and tips on how to listen, record, and stitch together sounds to add to your environment.
If sounds from the neighborhood or place you are creating are not easily accessible or available, we can start with other historical sources and ephemera. For this example, we will use a photograph from the Library of Congress of a fish market in San Francisco's Chinatown. Take a few minutes to study this photograph. Write down every detail you can see in the image. Try to be as descriptive as possible. What are they doing? What are they wearing? Now try to imagine the types of sounds that are associated with these details. In this photograph, we can see a young man in a wide-brimmed hat holding a basket looking down at a piece of fish on the table. The fishmonger standing next to him is looking at him in mid-chop. It looks like they're in the middle of a conversation. What sorts of sounds can you imagine hearing in a fish market? Are any of these sounds something you can recreate yourself? Could you try chopping a fish or rattling a metal bucket on a wooden floor? Are there keywords that you can use to find these sounds in public archives, like this recording of chickens? Let's focus on other clues in this photo. It's on a street. What does a busy street sound like in a shopping district? Do we know what languages are spoken in this neighborhood? Can we go out to record these specific sounds? Once you've gathered a list of sound descriptions, now comes the fun part. Let's go sound gathering. If visiting the site you are reconstructing is possible, we recommend going there and listening to the present-day sounds, even if they've changed. Try visiting at different times of the day, different times of the week, and even if you can, different times of the year.
For this example, I visited the site of Burrell Street, Chinatown in Providence, and recorded some environmental sounds. This is a clip of what it sounds like today.
So Jeff, how was it for you visiting the site as it is today? What kind of thoughts were running through your head?
I think one thing I noticed because I live in the neighborhood is the constant hum. I guess it must come from all the different heaters and air conditioners and things. And on top of that, Empire Street, it's a pretty big street now. So almost no matter when you go, there will be some traffic, and it's not moving very slowly. But I did notice there were some birds, there were some small trees. Surprising, even in the middle of March, it's pretty cold, and I can hear myself breathing in this cold air. And there's some kind of like motor going over by the big building over there. So then I was thinking, well, the road, it's much bigger. It's a asphalt road. And then I thought, would there be a road nearby that's closer to what it would have been like? So next I went over just a couple blocks towards the jewelry district, and I stopped when I heard a lot more birds. I mean, there's some bushes, small trees, some vines, and they were really making a lot of fuss. And there was a dog bark. There was, just signs of more like residential life.
From this kind of deep, careful listening, both at the site as it is today and through close attention to images from the period we're interested in, we can collect a range of different sounds which, together, can create an immersive soundscape for our reconstructed space.
Spatialized sound in Mozilla Hubs. After you collect sounds, you can place them within a reconstructed scene. Much of the reconstruction work so far in Seeing Lost Enclaves has been in the virtual online platform called Mozilla Hubs.
We used Mozilla Hubs to host not only 3D models and visual media, but embedded sounds located within the virtual environment.
These sound files are spatialized, meaning that they are louder the closer you are to them. If you wear stereo headphones, you can hear a sound to your left side or right. This allows us to localize sounds in creative ways. For example, in the reconstruction of Providence's Chinatown in 1914, I hid different sounds around the scene, such as the sound of rain hitting the street. I placed these sounds outdoors or behind walls, and when you went inside, they seemed to get quieter. In reality, they were just placed away from buildings, but the effect was such that visitors felt sheltered from the rain once they stepped indoors. Whether we're composing a single sound file as the soundtrack of a video, or placing different recordings around a 3D scene, all the sounds combine to create a sense of place. Now let's put it all together and see how it sounds.
That wraps up this tutorial. For more information, you can see the written guide online.